Terry, you think that the GOP needs to express its empathy to Mexican people?
Yes, sir.
I
think that would do so much. One, for this whole situation, for the problem, it would make Mexican and Spanish people, feel better about their hope for the future and the way they are considered, and the way they are treated, and the way they're thought about, and it would also help the Republican Party tremendously. Because it is a caring party. It's against abortion. It is for life. It is for the freedoms of people. It is a wonderful party. But in this one respect, I feel, that's just my opinion, that they have a negative image instead of a positive image.
How do you feel about the remark of Jorge Castañeda, the Mexican cabinet minister, who says that the U.S. needs to accept more low-skilled migrants from Central America because otherwise they're going to stay in Mexico?
Well, I'm not going to really get into the politics. I feel that Mexico believes a lot of people in Mexico believe they're a Christian people, and if they should do what they think is the right thing for them to do, that would be pleasing to God. I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but I am concerned about the plight of people who need help, who come to this country, who want to earn a living, who want to have a better life and hope for their families and their children.
Why should anybody have... Look, I'm an immigrant. I can't walk in. I'm from Canada. Right? Why should, and you said, okay, Greece isn't a border country, the Congo isn't a border country, Canada's a border country. Can 30 million Canadians come and live here illegally?
Well, my family is French. They're Canucks from Canada. And
yeah, that's great, but do you want all 7 million Quebecers then coming in? Should they also, they're border people, should they be able to walk along the Vermont border, walk across the New Hampshire border?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is an individual choice by each person to make a decision for their life and for their family and for their relatives.
Look, let's back up here again, Sherry. I made that individual choice as an individual. Right? I'm an immigrant, okay? And those of us who made the mistake of coming here as legal immigrants strongly dislike the way lawbreakers are now what Americans understand by quote, immigrants, unquote. Do you think I should have just walked across the Canadian border, started working here, started taking the jobs of Americans? This country has a 7.6% unemployment rate and the lowest rate of worker participation in decades, and that basically means millions of low-skilled American workers have been priced out of the market by people who walked into the country illegally. Should I have had the right to walk into the country illegally?
I respect the way that you came in. I think that's great and it's wonderful, but I also have compassion upon people who are already here, that they have needs. They have very, very basic needs, just having a roof over their head and food in their mouth. This woman is just looking for places to clean the house so she can meet her basic needs, not even for luxury, just her basic needs for herself and her family. And I think we need to have that compassion for anybody, not just Spanish and Mexican Americans, but including Spanish and Mexican Americans. Americans. It means very much to them to be an American, and I don't think people realize.
Who told you that?
Well, because I have Spanish friends, I've talked to them, and they have talked to me, expressed to me their ideas, their feelings, and like I said, I found them to be very nice, very hardworking, and I think they would make wonderful citizens.
Do you want to live in Latin America?
If God called me there, I would go. I would be where God called me to go.
Well, good luck with that, because these are basic cultural issues. Border immigration, which you correctly said is border immigration, is different from any kind of any other kind of immigration. It's in effect settlement. It's moving the border north. That's what goes on, and that's true in any city. You can look at the Southern Irish, Northern Irish border, where villages are gradually being de-Protestantized there in the course of the Troubles. Border immigration is different from a bunch of people flying over or coming over and landing at Ellis Island from Italy or Russia or wherever. And the way to bet is this. The majority of children in Arizona's grade schools right now are Hispanic. The majority of children born in Dallas General Hospital are Hispanic. So the way to bet is that those will be Hispanic societies, Latin American societies. Which Latin American society would you enjoy living in, Sherry?
Well, I don't know that that's true, because I've heard it said that the Muslims are growing in France, the Muslims are growing in England. That I don't really get. I don't
one
really
out
get
of
into
one
it.
out of
I
every
see people who have needs, basic needs, who need compassion, who need love, who need caring by all Americans.
Why? Hey, Sherry, here's a thought. Why don't Americans clean their own floors? Why don't Americans mow their own lawns? What's so liberal and compassionate about having an illegal workforce that comes in that you don't have to pay Social Security taxes on to come and mow your lawn and clean your floor? What does it do to Mexico? Wouldn't it be better to fix Mexico? Wouldn't it be better if Mexico if Mexico's principal export wasn't its population? What does that say?
The people are here.
What does that do for Mexico?
And they need help. The people are here. They need help. And
what do you mean they need help?
They're not going to get real help without citizenship.
What help do they need?
The basic needs of life.
The basic needs, what? Like emergency room health care? Free schools? They've got all that.
I'm talking about food. I'm talking about housing.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that, in effect, there's 15 million people in this country who need food, who shouldn't be here but who need food.
We don't turn our back on people who need food. There was an old tradition in the West that whenever you needed food, they would follow the line where you always got a free meal, one free meal, no questions asked.
So you can get one free meal, and then you go back to Mexico.
No, they would go the line. If you were going across Montana and looking for a job, you would go where you could go to ranches to get one free meal as you went along because you don't turn people away for food and for housing and for medical needs. You don't turn people away. You have compassion and you say, I want to meet your needs, and you love them. As Christ loves us, as God loves Christ.
What benefit is it to the citizenry of the United States to legalize maybe 15 million low-skilled Latin American workers with a right to family reunification to bring in another 40 million people, so that you would have an extra legalized population of 60 million low-skilled Latin Americans? Where is the benefit to the existing citizenry of the United States?
I will give you that a lot of these people will come in, their relatives will come in. But whenever you welcome people from other shores, they bring culture, they bring attributes, they bring gifts.
Don't you think that 60 million...
all these things that enrich the culture?
Yeah, I know, I like... I like La Cucaracha and the Mexican hat dance and all the rest of it. But I've got all the Mexican culture I need. I mean, if you've got 60 million Mexicans, how many more Mexicans do you need? Do you not feel, Sherry, wouldn't you like to meet an Uzbek or a Fijian? Why do you want to go Mexican?
They're here and they have needs, and we need to help them.
Sherry, do you want your country to die, Sherry? Do you want your country to cease to exist as you've known it?
That would happen. I believe that we would be rewarded when you do something good. Then it works out for the best. When you do something, when you turn your back, the Good Samaritan was rewarded. He helped someone, and when you turn your back on someone's needs, then you know that hurts yourself. That mars your character, mars your thinking, and it destroys you from the inside.
So you think that not expressing empathy for Mexican people is destroying the Republican Party from the inside?
I think that the Republican Party needs to really show empathy for the plight of Spanish and Mexican people here, because they have a great need, and this will help the Spanish and Mexican people.
Wait a minute. They chose to come here. They chose to come here. Mexico exports people as a conscious. It is a corrupt society. that as a matter of policy drives its low, unskilled population north, so it has fewer of them, so it is not Mexico's problem, so it is our problem. And on this Independence Day, Sherry, I meant what I said, that your country will die, because if you don't have borders, you don't have a nation. That's what President Reagan says. But you're saying borders are voluntary. I'd love it if 30 million Canadians come down here. I want a hockey team in every single American town. I want Celine Dion booming out in every town like the Muslim call to prayer 5 times a day. Let's have 30 million Canadians come down here. They'll have needs too. Let's give them food. The poor people, they've just been eating poutine all their lives. Let's give them real authentic American food like hot dogs and just welcome them and show compassion to them and show understanding to them. It's cold up there. It's way warmer down in Mexico. They're existing on seal pelts. Let's have them come down here. Let's open it up to everybody. Why should in an age of foreign travel, why shouldn't the Congolese and the Greeks, Belgians, there aren't enough Belgians in this country. There's not enough Uzbeks. There's 7 billion people on the planet. And all of them want to be Americans. They're all just hard-working people who want to be Americans. All of them. Right now they're Uzbeks, they're Papuans, they're Tuvaluans, but they really want to be Tuvaluan Americans. Let's let them all in. And the sooner that all 7 billion people on the planet are all living in the United States, we won't need John Kerry to take to come into work on the 4th of July, because there'll be no foreign affairs, because every single foreigner will be an American. Sherry, that is the recipe for the death of your nation.